Welcome to this week's Homeboss Client Attraction Clinics, which are short weekly sessions for serious real estate agents who want concise, actionable strategies and tools that they can implement this week, right now, to improve their marketing, their conversion, their appointments, their listings, and closings. Today's session is about lead conversion because more leads are not going to fix a broken conversion problem. So my response to you guys are stop buying leads if you can't convert them into closings. Now, last week I gave you this homework. Figure out your unique selling proposition for buyers, sellers, and investors. And I gave you this format. Complete the sentence, and if you follow this, you can get it done. I did get some responses via email and said, hey, is this what you had in mind? And the answers were fine, although they sound like every other agent, but they didn't fit into this concise method. Your unique selling proposition has to be done in about 30 to 45 seconds tops, right? So clients hire me because I help first-time home buyers, seniors, investors, whatever that would be, right? I could be a specific type of client, like, hey, I help investors, I help sellers. Whatever that would be to achieve a specific result. So I help investors flip more properties every year. And then it's got to be better than what the typical agent says, because then you have to identify what's your specific difference. What is it that you do for investors, first-time home buyers, seniors that all the other agents don't do, right? We talked about that last week. Don't tell them, hey, I've been in the business for 32 years and I'm really good with details and my clients love me and I'm an area expert. Guys, that's what everybody says. So how many of you guys actually did that homework? Put it in the chat box for me. How many of you did it? You actually wrote it down. You're spending time committing it to memory. You started to add it to your marketing and your scripting. Because this, of everything I'm going to teach, folks, over all the time period that I'm going to do, this is the most important thing you have to be able to do. So I gave you 4 scenarios last week that we were going to talk about. We're going to answer the question, what do you do? I'm at an elevator, I'm at a barbecue, I'm at a party. Somebody says, what do you do? It's a very common thing. Why should you list my home? Why should I buy my home through you? And nowadays, why should I pay you a commission to help me buy a house? Or like this one, I'm a flipper. Why should I work with you? Or I'm an investor. Why should I work with you? How many of you guys, put it in the chat box for me, feel comfortable giving that answer? Now, I promised everybody I'm going to share with you what my answers would be, okay? So let me start with the first one. What do you do? Somebody's at a party in an elevator, so what do you do? That's a normal question, right? What I do is I help people leverage their home and their mortgage to get it paid off in 7 to 10 years and then use the money they were going to give the bank to create $1 million retirement fund. If you heard that, some of you guys are unmuted. If somebody said that to you, what would your answer to that be? Go ahead, you can unmute yourself, put it out. It's an open thing.
Wow, that's interesting. How do you do that?
And that's the answer that I want. Can't answer that on an elevator or at a party. Happy to call and schedule a time and walk you through what that might look like for you. Has anybody ever done that with you before? So everybody's going to say what to that? No. Great. So we can jump on Zoom and do it. Because your question or your comment, your unique selling proposition needs to evoke that response. Wow, how do you do that? Wow, could I do that? Wow, would that work for me? How would that work for me? I don't really know. I'm not sure it would, right? When somebody goes, you're at an appointment, any kind, they go, why would you be the right agent to work with me? You'd say, you know what, that's a valid concern. I'm not sure that I am. That should be your answer. Then let me tell you what I do. So if somebody said to me, why should I work with you? Why should I hire you to list my house? That would be a legitimate question, right? And it's, hey, I'm not sure that you should. Let's talk about what you're trying to accomplish, and let me see if my solutions match that for you, and then we can determine it, because I do work differently than other people. My number one goal when I sell a house is to create competition amongst buyers, to get you the highest market value, guaranteed. I can get that done in only 14 days, And I'm going to eliminate all the hassles and headaches that every seller hates about listing their property. If I could help you do that, is there anything else you'd want to accomplish? What would you say to that? What most people go is, no, there might be some scenarios where people go, we do need to get it sold by August, so we're moving into a new school district, I could get my kids in there. Great, so speed is important to you. Yeah, great. Can I walk you through what that process looks like? Because the number one thing we have to do is create competition amongst buyers to separate your house from all the rest. Can we go through that now? And then I walk through the system that we utilize, the Homeboss selling system, right? So we have a system specifically designed for that, to create competition. In case you guys don't know it, your job when you list a house, yeah, you've got to do all the other things, but your number one job, if you want to get them a great price and you want this done fast, is to create competition amongst buyers. Now, we have a whole format, a whole system, a whole process of how we go about that, right? We even have it down to a checklist. It's in our presentations. It's in everything that we do because we have a process. Now, why do we do that? We do it because we need to, convert leads into appointments. But can we agree if I can get an appointment, my next job is to convert that into a listing? And I have to be able to do that by showing them how I do things differently than other agents. Make sense? Now, the next question is, why should I buy a home through you? It's the same answer, folks. It's, hey, I'm not sure we're a good fit to work together. What I do when you're buying a home is radically different than every other agent. Can I take a minute and walk you through what that looks like? And then you can decide whether we're a good fit to work together or not. Folks, what agent says that to a potential client? You automatically want to go into, hey, I've been a realtor for 25 years and I've sold 200 houses here and I do this and my clients love me and I blah, 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 blah. I'm available 24/7. They don't care about that. That is what they expect from you. So the question is, what do you do? My goal for you folks is when you buy this house, if it's okay, I'd like to help you get it paid off somewhere in 7 to 10 years. And if you can do that, you're going to save hundreds of thousands of dollars in payments and interest that you could then now start to take and utilize to fund your retirement plan. You know how people normally say, hey, in order to start putting money away to retire, I have to cut back, don't go on vacations, don't go out to dinner? I don't believe in that. I believe that if we could take and leverage and structure your mortgage properly, we can accomplish that, and you could fund a retirement plan in excess of $1 million with the same money that every other agent and lender is going to have you give to the bank. Based on that, would it make sense for us to explore working together? Folks, what is anybody going to say to that? What is everybody going to say to that? You guys can unmute. What is somebody going to say?
That's interesting.
Yeah, how do I do it?
Absolutely, I'd like to learn more.
So when they do that, they now gave me permission to show them what I do. Now, here's what's critically important. When you have these unique selling propositions, you have to have systems and strategies behind it to be able to perform. You just can't say this is what I do and then forget about it. You have to be able to deliver. What I've done over my, 34 years of doing this is I've built systems behind it, right? I start out with my unique selling proposition. I help you pay your home off in 7 to 10 years. In order to do that, now I've got to create the system for that. Once I have a system that I can deliver on it, then I can create marketing around it, can't I? So like, for example, we have buyer leads that we get through our system, right, for our agents, that we can take and send them a direct mail piece, for example, where they can download an ebook on how to do that. Hey, scan the QR code and get our free mortgage hack to save you hundreds of thousands of dollars in payments and interest, or whatever the title is. It's something close to that, right? So now you get the ebook. I get notified that you downloaded it. I'm going to wait a little bit, and I'm going to call, and I'm going to go, hey, Karen, this is Bob with eXp Realty. Just wanted to reach out real quick. It looks like you ordered a copy of my free book. I wanted to make sure that you got it, and it showed up in your inbox versus spam. That's it. Don't say, let me tell you about it or whatever. Perfect. Hey, go ahead and read it. And I'm sure you'll probably have some questions. Feel free to reach out afterwards. That's it. Then I'll wait a few days, find out if they read it. Let's say I didn't hear back from them. Hey, just wanted to follow up. I'm sure you had some questions. Did you want me to walk you through what this could look like for you? Now I've built a USP. I built a system behind it to deliver, right? So a delivery system. Then I built marketing around it. Then I built scripting around it, right? Notice how similar that was when somebody says, what do you do? It has similarities. I can use this all the time. When I'm in a listing presentation, now folks, when we go to buy the new house, we're going to sell this one. Now when we go to buy it, just understand my goal is to take and help you get this thing paid off in 7 to 10 years. So now I have my USP for get your home sold, highest market value guaranteed, 14 days, eliminate hassles and headaches of an old-fashioned listing. Now I've talked to them, I made that pivot. When we go to buy your house, this is what we're going to do to buy. I want to secure both ends. See how it becomes a system? It all starts with the USP, which is what I asked you guys to do last week, right? That was your homework. What are you going to do? Now you can build an actual business around it. I can build my systems. I can build my marketing. I can build my scripting. Heck, now I could build an AI tool that allows me to role play, right? So my agents have an AI program that they can role play based around these strategies. So they get good without practicing at somebody's kitchen table when there's money on the line. Make sense? So do you see how it ties in? Everything starts with figuring out how you're going to differentiate yourself. Now, what about an investor? I'll just tell you what I teach. I don't necessarily work with every investor, but if I do, then I'm going to have a unique selling proposition for it. But I primarily want to work with flippers and teach our agents to target flippers, right? The question is, why? I specifically target, because you can get the data, flippers that are doing somewhere between 5 and 10 homes a year. If I can start to become the listing agent and I can get 5 to 10 listings from each investor that I work with, each flipper that I work with, and I have, let's say I have 5 flippers and they do 5 transactions a year. There's 25 listings. They do 10, it's 50. Can I have 10 investors? Absolutely. So you're going to have consistent income in inventory in good markets and bad. Doesn't matter. Because flippers are buying in bad markets and they're buying in good markets. So if you're a flipper, why would I possibly work with you? Here's my answer. I call up a flipper. Hey, Karen, this is Bob with eXp Realty. Hey, I wanted to reach out real quick. It looks like you sold 5 homes last year. You flipped 5 homes last year. Are you looking to do any more this year? What does every flipper in the world say? Yeah, if I can get the right deals. Oh, okay, so you're open to any possible listings or any possible homes for sale that I find, that if I go on a presentation and, hey, they just want a fast offer, or the house needs work, that'd be something you'd be open to? Yes. Great. So I come across those all the time, and I also have a system that we can expedite how fast we can turn your property. So we can take the average flipper from selling 5 homes a year to 7 or 8. Is that a conversation you'd be open to having? What's every flipper going to say? Now, if I was you,
of course.
If I was you, I'd have some sources for hard money too, and say, I do have some sources for hard money. But now I got to be able to deliver that, right? So I have to have homes available, which it's totally different class. And I have to be able to sell the houses faster, which is how we list our process, right? The Homeboss listing system. So at the end of the day, I can now sit there and say, listen, I can start to pre-market the houses before you even have it done. As soon as you've got them staged, I can start to do that, start to get inventory out there. And I have a network of buyers that I can reach out to right now. And I have a list of buyers, people that are actively looking for homes in the market right now. I've got about 250 of them, which most of my agents have. Depends on your area and that, so smaller town, less, but things like that. Would that be a compelling reason for a flipper to sit down and meet with you? Now, for me, I'd want to meet that person in person, right? Because that's a potential 5 to 10 transactions a year. How many of those do you need to have to build a really great business? So we have to be prepared for that, right? So all the things that I just laid out on flippers. Do you have access to properties? It's not just going through MLS, although you could do it, and find some things for that. Yes, you definitely can do that. But there's some other systems that could be created that, like I'm working on creating one now for my agents like that, where it's a whole network of agents contributing to the inventory. And then you have to have a system to sell their houses faster and get them the most money. If you can get them an extra $10,000 or $15,000 on an extra, say, 5 homes a year, that's $50,000 to $75,000 more in their pocket, which gives them more money to create the cycle. So your unique selling proposition has to answer it, right? The first thing you have to have is one. Then you have to have a delivery system. Then I would tell you I would work on the scripting. What would I say? And then I would take and work on the marketing, right? So the free guide, if you will, scan this QR code, get our free book, that now teaches them, right? So when they read any of our ebooks, and again, full disclosure, not everybody reads them. I wish they did, but they don't. They now call me and go, okay, could we talk about how we could do this on my house? Now I'm prepared to answer it, right? So I've got scripting for it. I'm totally comfortable in doing it. And I have a system to walk them through it. Does that make sense? So these USPs need to be 30 seconds. Notice how all of them were very fast, 15, maybe 20 seconds. What do? Why should I list with you? Why should I buy through you? And I'm an investor or a flipper. For me, I specifically teach people target flippers. Have nothing against other investors, just I know that there's consistent inventory there. And then it's figure out your USP, figure out your delivery system. How are you going to deliver on that promise? Work on your scripting, and then work on your marketing. So like for us, we have lists that we get every week of people that are online searching to sell their home, that we now drop them into a direct mail campaign. And all we have to do is wait for them to raise their hand, and then we have a script for us to call and then move them through the funnel. That's how you build marketing. It all starts with the USP, then the delivery system. The direct mail system is a delivery system in some way, right? It's getting my USP out there. So everything starts with this process. That's why it's so early on in this, right? We talked about last week, don't spend money on leads until you figure out this part, because until you convert, it doesn't matter. Anybody have any questions on it? You can unmute. All right, cool. Hey, if you found anything that we covered today helpful, you think this would make a difference in your business, make sure you grab our free guide. It's the 15-hour client attraction method. You can get it at www.15hourmethod.com. What it'll do, it'll help you build a more predictable pipeline, spending 15 hours a week on lead generation, because you'll have better positioning, better follow-up, and a better use of your time. Now, next week, we're going to cover how to time block that 15-hour a week so that it actually creates closings. And don't forget, you can join us live every Tuesday at www.15hourmethodclinic, 15hourmethodclinics.com. So thanks for joining me for this episode of the Homeboss Client Attraction Clinics, and we'll see you in the next session. All right, you guys have any questions on any of that? You should have all that down to a science by now.
Absolutely.
That was great.
All right, so we'll turn that into a video and go from there. But that's it, guys. And again, now it's about, hey, can we start to run or start inviting agents to?
Absolutely.
Because that's the goal, guys. And again, 15, 20 minutes, they're going to be fast. And I'm going to edit all this part out of that. And it'll just be a video. It's going to be a podcast and whatever, right? Then go join the YouTube channel and whatever. All righty.
These are short enough where if you do put them on YouTube, we can actually jump on the computer with an agent on any given day.
100%. And that's why I wanted to keep them short, concise, to the point. You can go out and do this. Like that framework. I gave everybody that framework. You guys already know what to say, but other agents don't.
No.
And that's the framework that they can follow. All right, folks, cool. That's it for this week. And we'll holler at you later.